Usually when I travel out west on the Elizabeth line for a walk, I go to West Drayton, touch out on Oyster and continue with a paper ticket because it ends up being the cheapest way. However, this time around, the first train out of West Drayton was only going to Maidenhead, where I wanted to go beyond Reading. So I thought I'd catch it and change here at Langley, because this is one of only 4 remaining Elizabeth line stations that I have not used. I have used Pangbourne station before, however. The first time I travelled along this railway line, I jumped out here because I saw that it was close to the River Thames, so I thought I'd wander around and have a little bit of an explore. The other time I've been here was when I walked that Thames section in full from Goring and Streatley to Reading. Although we're not walking it today, I have come to have a quick look at it because we're instead going to be focusing on this little river to begin with, which is making its confluence with the River Thames. This is the River Pang. We've got a village sign here for Pangbourne, which, like the village sign we saw in Cliff's End, seems to have a Viking ship. The man is a Saxon chieftain named Pager, I think, which gives its name to the River Pang and Pangbourne. In Pangbourne's High Street, you have the second bridge over the River Pang. It's very fast flowing today, maybe after the heavy rain we had the other night. I'm out into the Meadows. I've got a bridge here to cross over the River Pang. This is a chalk stream. They seem to be pretty popular around this part of the country. The River Pang has actually become an obstacle on my walk. It's cutting right across the footpath here. Okay, I have to be careful crossing this. How am I going to cross this? I think it's inevitable that my feet are going to get a little bit wet here. This is, yeah, that's not stable at all. I could jump to the rocks, but I don't have stable footing. Right, I'm going to move this because this might help me. Place it here. Right, and now if I can balance on that. Oh god, it's not stable actually. Ah, it snapped. It snapped. Okay, just, yeah. All right, there we go. Wow. We talk about public footpaths being private or fenced off, but we never talk about when there's a river literally blocking your way across. This footpath really is something, isn't it? Having to skirt along the edge. I love paths like this when you're just surrounded by trees on either side, or a tree right across the footpath. Okay, I thought I was gonna have to duck underneath that then, but no, I can go around. Made it into the village of Tidmarsh now. That building ahead of us is the old bakery. There's a recreational green here, and then opposite is the Greyhound pub. A beautiful old straw roofed building. I love that. Well, it's not surprising that here in Mill Lane I have come across an old mill. I don't know if there's a technical term for these or not. I feel like there is that I don't know, so I'm just going to call it a mill. And this will be our last sighting of the River Pang on this walk. I know we haven't seen a whole lot of it, but we're starting to head east. This river rises in a little village called Compton. I used to know someone from there. The sun has graced us with a rare appearance as I'm cutting across this purple meadow. Seem to have come across another little stream or river that isn't the River Pang, but most probably also is a tributary of the Thames or the Pang as well. Aha! I spied 2 little pillboxes in there. Seem to always come across these. I don't know if I'll be able to get to them though. It's very overgrown here. Is it worth trampling my way through this to get to it? I don't know. I might just leave it. That's a cool enough shot as it is. This path is completely soaked through at points. It's quite stressful to kind of work your way across. And the sun's come out now, so it's beating down on my neck. So it's gotten really hot. I don't know how I'm going to get across this. Oh no, that's completely soaked. And I don't know because of the long grass, like I can't see. Well, I'm glad I made it across that. I've come across another little brook now. Again, possible tributary of the Thames. And this path is much more like it. Glorious field I find myself in now. And I'm about to head up towards and into that wood. Woo, that was quite steep. But of course that means you get some good views once you make it to the top. Into the woods we go. I have a long list of walks planned that I want to do at home, and when I look through that sometimes I come up with several that I would really like to do this year, and they're always kind of in the back of my mind even when I'm out doing other walks. But yesterday when I was looking through, I came across this walk and just thought, oh, if I do go out tomorrow, I want to go and do that one. This wasn't one that I was, you know, really looking forward to doing this year, but I am out doing it. And I'm glad I am, because so far it's been really nice, more rural than I was expecting as well. And anytime I do get to go out and go on a walk, it's great. I love doing this, so any opportunity, I always really appreciate that I have that opportunity. I'm liking that the scenery keeps changing on this portion of the walk, because I'm going from a wood out into open fields and I'm heading back into another wood again. I'm enjoying this. I've come across another pillbox, and this one I can access. Looks like it's suffered some sort of damage. I wonder if that maybe is from the war, that damage at all. Possibly. I can actually go in here. Duck my head. Oh, it's very muddy actually. It's a larger one than I usually come across. Oh, there's more damage over there too. So it seems like there are a lot of pillboxes around this area, and now that I've come across a few, I'm being reminded of one that I did see on the River Thames walk from Goring and Streatley. That was quite a grand pillbox too. I'm actually able to climb on top of this one because it's so short. So I think this might be the highlight of the walk for me, that grand pillbox, and now the Calvert dovecot. And there are actually some doves in the hole up there. Known locally as the Pigeon Tower, it has also had several names since it was first constructed, including Pinsent's Kiln, Nunhide Tower, Flint's Folly, and most notably Wilder's Folly, named after a Reverend Henry Wilder who designed this in 1769. A folly essentially is a decorative building. It doesn't have much purpose. Nowadays it of course serves an entirely different purpose as a dovecot or dovecote. I think you can say both ways. Henry Wilder designed this because his house can actually be seen straight through the middle of the archway, and his lover's house, you could also see the tower from there too, so they would kind of be reminded of each other every time they looked out the window and saw the tower, which is quite nice. They went on to have 11 children though. There's a reason why we have overpopulation problems nowadays. I couldn't deal with 11 kids. I can angle that in post. What a great location for the tower though, eh? I just love that it's just standing there on top of this hill. It's very striking, it's very impressive. On with the walk then, and I've just gone through a little development which has brought me out onto Pinsent's Hill. I mean, yep, it's definitely on top of a hill because there's a very good view ahead of me. And all of a sudden, it's just become very urban. There's a huge retail park here. There's an IKEA over there as well. You've got the M4 nearby. I can't believe I saw a deer a moment ago. And then all of a sudden, it's rural again. I'm in a place called Linear Park, so named because it is very linear. It just runs right alongside the railway line, which is to my right. Now, this is not the railway line that goes to Pangbourne or Tilehurst, where we're ending. This is the line between Reading and Newbury. There's a station called Thiel, not too far away. And it occurred to me that if I was to ever do a walk from Thiel on that railway line, I wouldn't head up this way. I wouldn't go north of Thiel, because I've now covered all of this area between the two railway lines. We have also the Holybrook here, which we will be following through Linear Park. It won't be as much of a linear route as the railway, of course, that runs in a straight line. This is a river, so it's going to be meandering a lot. But this is our second river of the day that we're going to get to follow for a portion of the walk. The Holybrook is a tributary of the River Kennet, which in itself is a tributary of the River Thames, and is so named because it powered a watermill for Reading Abbey, an abbey which is now in ruins in the city centre of Reading. And this is the site of one of those mills, Cowcott Mill. From the dovecot to the mill. I like how we've come across a mill for each of the rivers that we've walked today. Oh, I hear a train too. I can just about see it. The Holybrook here is passing underneath the railway line. We're going to continue along Linear Park and we'll see this brook one last time before we leave it. And we've been reunited with the Holybrook for our last little section across Linear Park. Ah, this is curious. It's like a double layered arched bridge here that the Holybrook is passing underneath. I wonder why there's two arches to it. Some weird design. And this will be our last sighting of the Holybrook on today's walk. Made it into Prospect Park now, and I feel like this walk has been a mix of rural and urban settings, because a section of Linear Park that I just walked through felt more like a recreational park than like fields and meadows with deer in, and this is a similar thing, but it is also a really large open park. It does have a mansion house though, Prospect Park, which has been turned into a harvester. I like a harvester. I haven't been to one in ages though, because my local one changed hands. I feel it's quite unusual to turn a park's manor house into a restaurant. It's not every day you see something like this. I'm in Louse Hill Copse now, which again is feeling very rural, like the woods that we walked through this morning. It's very high up here though. Someone's had fun pushing shopping trolleys down this hill. This area was used during World War II for training. Soldiers would dig foxholes. From dove holes to foxholes. Saw foxholes earlier, I assume, as in like the actual animal, like the fox digging holes in the woods. Okay. I can kind of imagine soldiers like charging up this hill here with their backpacks on, and now it's just used by used to, to throw shopping trolleys down it. Heading into the last couple of parks of my walk now. This is McIlroy Park, which has some incredible views, including down into Reading itself. The golden hour is upon us, and we're in our final park, Arthur Newbury Park. This is gorgeous to be walking through. A great end to a walk, looking back down into the Thames Valley again. Tilehurst, where we're ending, is kind of the outskirts of the suburbs of Reading, really. Which is why I thought this would be a bit more of an urban end, but nope. It's kind of kept that rural charm throughout. I've made it to the end of the walk at Tilehurst Station. Still has a First Great Western logo on it. Actually, still has a Network South East logo that is covering up. Don't think I don't see that. From the footbridge you can just about see the River Thames down there. I remember passing right by Tilehurst Station when I did that section from Goring to Reading. On the way home, I decided to jump out at Iver Station because this was the only one left on the west end of the Elizabeth line that I haven't used now that I've visited Langley. I was contemplating all walk whether I would end up jumping out at Iver because it only gets a half-hourly service, and I was stuck on a tube train this morning trying to get out here for half an hour. However, I let my intrusive thoughts win.